Bakar. I come from Malaysia, but originally Indonesia. So our class topic today, this morning, about non-wood forest product, and more especially on alternative wood material. You know that we are all of what we have a problem, insufficient supply of wood, and so far the supply of wood mainly come from the forest, the area of forest shrinking, and also the quality of forest or productivity of forest is also decreasing. So we need to know, we need to find, we need to look for alternative material for wood. So this is our topic today, in this morning. The title, we are still opening the website. The title is Oil Palm Wood as Alternative Material. Why we select oil palm wood? There is some explanation in my presentation today. Okay, so this about the topic of our class this morning. Before we are starting our class, I need to know your background. Who come from forestry background? Please raise your forestry background. Forestry, yeah. The rest mean agriculture. Who come from agriculture background? And the other come from biology. Oh, that's forestry, agriculture, and biology. And now, who is come from wood science and technology? Okay. Our topic more on wood science and technology, so mean that I need to explain it slowly. Don't worry about that, but I'm worried now because of two. Because our background is wet, different, and about my point. So, but please don't worry about it. 7 minutes because of our white. Okay. Now, I know that you are come from different country. Who come from Indonesia? Indonesia. Who come from Malaysia? Who come from Thailand? You come from which university? Kasesar. I just communicate with Songklot. You know Songklot? Songklot. Who come from Korea? No. Japan?
Only one.
Yeah, which university? Tokyo? Korea? Yeah, no. Tokyo, okay, Tokyo no Tokyo desu ka? Fuji kan. I was come from Nodai.
Okay.
Who come from? You come from? UK. From which university?
University of the West of England.
Okay. Yeah. Only one.
Only one.
From? They come from? Vietnam. How many percent? 6. Very good. Background biology mod. Biology and agriculture. Forestry. In Vietnam, forest is quite big. Okay. And else, maybe all, yeah. So we need to speak slowly because that. Actually, my pen drive yesterday, I have it yesterday, but tonight I don't know where. Somewhere lost. Since we need alternative material for wood, I mean good quality wood, so we try to explain this topic this morning. One of the strategic material for wood alternative is oil palm. Oil palm is one kind of palm, maybe you found not so much in Java Island, but if you go to other island in Indonesia, we have so many palm oil palm, in which Indonesia now is the largest oil palm producer country, about 12 million hectare. 12 million hectare. Oh, you no need to write it. Just if any side explanation you can make, because everything about. So in Malaysia, Indonesia is largest oil palm producer with area around 12 million. Number 2 is Malaysia, 5.6 million hectare. Number 3 is Thailand, around 1 million. Last month I went to Krabi. Okay, so outline of our courses now is why alternative material, why we need to find alternative material, and I mentioned before that our alternative material is oil palm wood. Why oil palm wood? And if we select oil palm wood, of course there is many problems of oil palm wood. I will try to explain to you, even if your background is not wood science and technology. I tried my best to make it easy for you, and after knowing the problem, we try to know the way how to solve the problem of this oil palm wood in order that those material can be used as good alternative wood. So there is 3 steps here: sawing, number 2 drying, and number 3 quality management of those oil palm wood. And then after we improve, after we solve the problem, what's the properties of this treated wood? We call the product as compressed oil palm wood. What is compressed? I will explain you. Of course, all of you who is not wood science technologists, maybe this is first time for you. Compressed is a technical term in wood science technology. And then maybe because our time is very limited, some of this maybe I will skip. So this is about our outline. So now, why alternative material? Number 1, you know that wood supply is decreasing. Is that correct?
Yes.
This is time. The availability of wood now is better than future. But the availability, I mean the quantity and quality of wood in the past better than now. So I mean that the wood quality and wood supply means quantity, right? Wood quality decreasing. And At the same time, the quality decreasing also. Correct. Maybe 10 or 20 years ago, the diameter of wood bigger, minimum of defect, but now the diameter is smaller with many defects. Mean the quality is decreasing. Okay? So this condition in one side, these two factors decreasing. On the other side, wood demand. How do you think about the demand? Constant, decreasing or increasing? Increasing. So you know it. Wood demand increasing. Also, the price of cost. The price of wood today might be about double of 1 decade before. So the price is increasing. The demand increasing. And also, wood product quality requirement. So, you as buyer, what your expectation now compared to your expectation during your 10 years ago about the quality of wood product? Increasing or decreasing? Increasing. Because when you are young, everything is very limited, including your income. So your demand on quality of wood product grow. When your income increasing, your everything is better. You need better wood product. You got it? So now, wood supply, wood quality increasing, but wood demand, wood price, and wood product requirement increasing. There is contradict condition. Okay, this is problem. Why wood supply decreasing? We discussed this a little bit. Why? Because of at least there are two main logic here. Number one, because of forest itself. The area of forest may be shrinking because of conversion. Some forests have been converted to housing area or plantation, other plantation area and all. So the forest itself, in terms of area, decreasing. In terms of productivity, decreasing also. For example, student ini they have been visit the forest around here. Yes. Let's say maybe thick wood, thick forest. Okay. Thick forest today, condition of thick forest today, and the condition of thick forest, let's say 10 years ago, what do you think? Which is better? No. In terms of quality, in terms of quantity, the past mean that the forest itself same. The capability of those forests to produce the material wood, to produce the quality is increasing. So mean the productivity of the forest increasing. Productivity of forest. Because of these two factors, of course, supply will decrease. The other side, increasing of awareness, people awareness on the forest. Might be now, let's say, is from his community in which no so much tropical forest, and let's say in Indonesia, somebody harvest the forest. People in other side, let's say in Europe, have big concern now, but not so big last time.
What do you mean last time?
I mean concern about the environmental about the forest, bigger, higher and higher.
Yes, yes. More
So
woods.
this I mean, the increasing people awareness about the forest,
Yes.
especially tropical forest. So now, since everybody concerned about the forest of our owner now not easy to harvest the forest. This we have implication on decreasing of wood supply. You got it? Boleh tebak? Okay. Now, why quality decreasing? Now, in terms of quality, there is a trend in all of forest management that to change, not to change, to reduce the harvesting age. Let's say, for example, jati in the past maybe will be harvested after the 60 years, but not 60 years anymore. Might be 30 years, might be 20 years, might be in future 10 years. So this means the forest rotation, the terminology in deforestry we call that as forest rotation, from the planting to harvesting rotation. Okay, the forest rotation becomes shorter. When the forest rotation becomes shorter, the diameter of tree becomes smaller. The quality of tree becomes lower. So that's why quality is decreasing. The other aspect, there is a trend also to change the species in the forest from slow growing species to the fast growing species. In the past, maybe there is a local name is maybe who come from biology. Maybe you know Eoxideroxylon zwageri. No. Okay. The age of Eoxideroxylon zwageri is ironwood. The age of this tree more than 100 years. Too long. But the quality of those wood very good, very strong, very durable, and everything is good. Since we need more material, we can not waiting this type of species. So now forest management in many countries, in almost all countries in the world, have been changed for slow growing species. I mean for the species that can be harvested for very long time, maybe more than 60 years, to the fast growing species in which can be harvested maybe 15 years, 10 years, or even less than 5 years. Maybe you can find around here, Japan for example, Japan, within 10 years maybe this side, 10 years. Yeah. If you use the Eoxideroxylon zwageri, this side maybe you need to wait 200 years. So this means there is a trend to change from slow growing species to fast growing species. Because of that, the quality of course decreasing. Okay? So now, demand. Why demand increasing? This is simple. Because of people, number of population increasing. When the population increase, the need on wood will increase also. And also about the prosperity. When you are Maybe now, this is just for example, maybe now your prosperity is just low, limit. Everything is limited, including your budget to buy everything, to buy furniture. So, in this condition, maybe because of your budget is limited, you just maybe your choice to buy small furniture, wood furniture with minimum chair, enough for this condition. Then after 10 years from now, it's become a rich man. After the condition is changed, his prosperity is increasing. Now he cannot, for him, even he is still single, I don't know if he's single or not, a small chair, small furniture is not enough. He need bigger one. He need bigger one, better quality. Is that correct? So, increasing our society prosperity will increase demand. Is that correct? Now the price is rise. This is a symbol of supply demand. When demand increasing, the price will increase also. And the other side is competition. The competition of wood utilization. In the past, maybe this wood will be used only for building material. But now, not only for building material. Maybe for energy, maybe for cosmetic, maybe for ammunition, many kind. So the same wood now will be used for many things. So because of that, the demand will increase and the price will increase also. Demand on wood product quality requirement, because related to prosperity gain and consumer behavior. This is very important. I think I have to explain this before. Okay, now come back to this diagram. Just focus on wood demand and supply to make it simple. What do you think? Where we are now? We are here, precise in cross section, or in left side or right side?
Left side.
Try to use logic. Now, what do you think about the supply and demand? Which bigger? Which higher? Demand higher than supply. Mean you are on right side, not here. So you are in this. Are you sure precisely here? Might be much more on the right side. We don't know. Maybe economic people who study on economic aspect, he can study. But for us, what we need to know that we are in deficit condition. The supply much lower than demand. Mean that our condition is heavy deficit supply. This is danger. Danger to what? Danger to forest. Okay? Sorry. Danger to forest. If supply and demand have a big gap like this one, our forest will be under pressure. Everybody want to want to harvest the tree, and of course, all of us, of course, this will make the forest become worse. Okay, we don't need it. We this is something we need to escape from. So now, we need to solve this problem. by try to reduce the supply demand gap, because the supply demand gap create a problem on the forest, create a threat on the forest. The question now, is there any way to reduce this gap? Okay, so now we are go to the wood side technology. For wood side technology side, we can solve this problem, but of course not all the problem we can solve. Other people must solve by their method. Now, as one way to the way to solve the problem is by intervention of technology. Actually, by using better technology, we can reduce the supply-demand gap by improving the processing efficiency. For example, you have log from the forest. Log means the round wood. Okay, you have log from the forest. Log is not product. Log is raw material. Your product, for example, chair. To produce chair from the forest, you need to process it. Okay, by many steps of processing. One of them is sawing. Okay, sawing this log, round log, to some timber. In this processing, not all of the material become the product. Maybe about 60% or 50% or maybe higher, 70% become the product. The rest, 30% to 40% become the waste of those processing. Okay, let me show you. Hyperlink not working. So now let's say in sawing, normally with sawing technology now, or current sawing technology, the conversion from the log into some timber about 60%. Mean that from 1 cubic meter log, only 1.6 cubic meter become sound timber, and then from this sound timber you can produce chain. Now the rest 1.4 cubic meter is waste for the processing, for this sawing. When your processing efficiency can be improved from, let's say, from 0.6 to 60% to 70%, now from the same volume of log, your product will increase. Okay, now the increasing the processing efficiency, this actually is one of intervention technology. Mean that by using proper technology, the efficiency of our wood utilization will be increased and the wastage of wood processing will be decreased. This will help to reduce the supply demand. Number 2, utilizing wood waste. Okay, wood waste. For example, again, in the sawing, there is the waste, many kind of waste. The name, there is slag, there is sawdust and everything. In the past, this waste go to energy, heat energy, burning, to be used for wood drying. But now, this waste can be processed to produce particle board. Particle board is also wood product. So now, with using the waste, we have another wood product. So mean is similar with number one, with using proper technology, your product will increase, will be increased, and this can reduce the supply and demand gap. Number three, by doing the preservative treatment. Preservative treatment means actually wood, any kind of wood have many kind of enemy. I mean something that attack the wood. Termite, fungi, everything. This is enemy of wood. Okay? And some of wood have very low durability, resistant to this enemy, and the other is very high. Let's say for, do you know rubber wood? Rubber wood? Rubber wood is one example that very low in durability. Just maybe in 1 or 2 or 3 years will be attacked by many kind of fungi termite. So the lifetime of product made from this wood very short. Now, if this wood we do treatment with chemical, of course, we call as preservative treatment, the lifetime of this wood will be in general 4 times longer. 4 times longer. Let's say for rubber wood 4 years. Now with the treatment, the lifetime of this product can be 60 years. So this will help. Okay, mean that if without treatment, this static. The lifetime of your product only 4 years. After 4 years, this chain, for example, need to be produced again with new material. Okay, this material comes from forest. Okay, so you need to harvest the forest again. So now we do treatment on this wood. We call as preventive treatment. The lifetime normally become 4 times longer. So now, not only after 4 years, but for about 16 years, you need the new material. So mean that with the preservative treatment, you can reduce the supply demand gap. You got it? Okay, this intervention of technology. Number 2, introducing new wood material. Actually, not actual wood. Because alternative new wood material. Alternative new material. For this, including rubber wood. Because in the past, rubber wood is not recognized as wood. People don't like to use the wood. Maybe who come from Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia know better about the rubber wood. Because now rubber wood is so popular for alternative material. Why? Because the quality is good enough and supply is good enough also. And actually this is waste. Rubber wood is waste. Waste of rubber cutting. Okay? So rubber wood is one alternative material. Now that rubber wood has been popular. Now oil palm wood. Oil palm wood is wood come from oil palm. Oil palm can be new alternative material also. And the other one, in any tropical country, and also in subtropical country like Korea and Japan and China, bamboo is good alternative materials. Okay. So now, can look again. Improving of efficiency, processing efficiency, actually have been done by many of good scientists, and this improving technology have been applied in industry. The same for utilization of wood waste to produce many kinds of board, particle board, fiber board, and chipboard, oriented strand board, many board, all come from wood waste. Preventive treatment have been done also to increase the lifetime, and utilization of rubber wood have been done, and utilization of bamboo and ceramic material have been done also. But utilization of oil palm wood just starting. Just starting. In Thailand, not yet. In Indonesia, in Malaysia, just starting. Okay, so it's why again we are discussing about oil palm wood as alternative material. So now we go to oil palm. Okay, in Southeast Asia, oil palm is very rich. Many palm plantation, as I mentioned before, in Indonesia, there is about 12 million hectares of planted oil palm. In Malaysia, 5.6 million hectares. In Thailand, based on information I got from one company last month, about 1 million hectares, all in South Thailand. Okay. This three main country to produce palm oil and to have oil palm. You must understand what is different palm oil and oil palm. Palm oil is oil. Oil palm is the tree of those palm. So our topic is not palm oil but oil palm. So this three country is the main country have palm oil palm. Combination of these three countries maybe share more than 90% of total oil palm in the world. So very significant these three countries. So since this class comes from some of you are come from this very good for you, especially who come from Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, to look more. Okay, and this is oil palm look like. Very nice stem, big and straight, round. Very in terms of look, this is very perfect. In terms of shape, in terms of morphology, is very perfect. And this is trunk or stem. This is frond. This is EFP. Actually, fruit. If the fruit will be taken to produce the oil, and you have EFP, empty fruit bunch. Okay. Most of plantation, oil palm plantation in this country have mature oil palm. Mature oil palm means the age around 20 something. This oil palm must be reclaimed, must be changed with new plum after the age of 25 years. The terminology is replanting. The planting of oil palm just like rubber wood, about 25 years. After 25 years, the palm, yes, can grow until longer age, but the productivity start to decrease. So 25 years means the economic lifetime of this tank. So normally people need to change with the new tree. The terminology, as I mentioned before, is replanting. So most of if replanting age is 25 years, then based on, because not much of you come from the forestry, I just explain a little bit. One of the replanting age 25 years, then the replanting age, rate of replanting age must be 4%. Why 4%? Maybe not time to explain everything. You can try to information later. So mean that every year you need to replant about 5 or 4% of the total area in order to your plantation in normal condition. This is a forest management method. Okay, for replanting activity, this plantation produce so much biomass. There are 3 types of main biomass. Number 1 is frond. Number 2 is EFB. Number 3 is trunk. Okay. Among these 3 kinds of biomass, frond, EFB, and trunk, the trunk offer the best quality similar to the wood. Mean that since our topic now is alternative for wood material, so the best choice not frond, not EFB, but trunk. Why trunk? Because among these 3 biomass, only the trunk offer the best properties that similar to wood. Okay, so now this is the definition of replanting. Maybe you can get a copy later. Okay. Don't worry about your lecture now. Replanting to change the old tree with the young tree. So now, again, oil palm trunk means this stem or trunk have the best properties among these 3 kinds of biomass. And this is there is possibility to convert this trunk become good quality wood. And huge amount of oil palm trunk can be resulted from the replanting activity. Since the replanting activity very huge also, because 4% in case of Thailand, 4% of 1 million. In case of Malaysia, 4% of 5.6 million, and in case of Indonesia, much bigger. So the potential of oil palm trunk, volume of oil palm trunk is very huge. How big is the potential? What's the potential? This simple calculation, this in average. In each hectare of palm plantation, each hectare, there is about 130 to 140 tree, oil palm tree in each hectare. The length of trunk in between 8 to 12 meters. The diameter 60 to 50, sometimes 60 to 55, something like that. Then, for this data, you can calculate the volume, right? The volume about 1.5 cubic meter per tree. For single tree, you have 1.5 cubic meter of oil palm wood. Okay? Since for each tree 1.5, in 1 hectare we have 130 to 150. So roughly you can get 200 cubic meter of those trunk for each hectare. How many hectare do you have? 1 million. Not all in harvesting. In 1 year, 4% of 1 million for Thailand. 4%, because only the harvesting one can produce, not the standing tree. For Indonesia, mana Indonesia? 4% of 12 million. Berapa banyak tuh? Sangat banyak. Okay. Okay. This is calculation also. For Thailand, maybe you can produce for oil palm 96 million cubic meter per year. For Malaysia, 34 million cubic meter per year. For Indonesia, very good. Sorry. Kembali. Indonesia, Indonesia, 96 million. Malaysia about 1/3 of that, and Thailand about 8 million per year. 8 million cubic. Very big. I have some small study. This volume might be more than double of total forest in each country can produce. I mean, in Thailand, the potential of oil palm wood 8 million. Thailand have forest also. The total of forest in Thailand maybe not half of this amount can produce during the 1 year. Same with Indonesia and Malaysia. So the potential about more than double of the capability of forest can produce in normal and good practice silviculture. So mean that this very huge potential. We especially with scientists must look on it to solve our problem I mentioned before. Okay? So now you know about the potential of palm. Sorry. Now we look on the characteristic of oil palm trunk. The trunk of oil palm. What's the characteristic of trunk? The characteristic, as I mentioned before, very perfect in terms of morphology, straight, cylindrical. This very good in terms of in terms of processing. For the processing aspect, is very good. Except one. I said cylindrical and straight. Cylindrical and without taper. Doing taper. Taper is the diameter decreasing from bottom to top. So with minimum taper, except for 1 meter from the ground. Only 1 meter ground has a quite significant taper. The other is minimum taper. So this very perfect in terms of morphology for the processing purpose. Any processing. That one characteristic. Number two, this is good one. Number two, density. You know density, huh?
Yes.
Density sharply decrease from outer to the inner. We have this oil pump trunk. This outer, this center. Okay. The density of wood from this oil pump trunk decrease sharply from the outer to the inner. Very extreme. The density of outer might be 0.4 to 0.5. Then here. The density here might be 0.3, 0.2. So the density decrease sharply. This very different with other wood species. Softwood or hardwood. The density almost same. Okay? So this means this problem. The density is different with outer and inner. Okay? The other characteristic, the outer part, of course, better than the outer part better in terms of wood quality. The outer part is better than inner part. And again, the best portion is the outer bottom. The outer from the bottom part. Because the quality also decreasing from bottom to top. Not only from outer to inner, but from bottom to top. Okay. So mean again, the bottom part over the bottom part over oil palm woods with darker color. You can see here. This means from the bottom of top. Why become darker? Because of lignification. Maybe people who come from biology. Do you know meaning of lignification?
Yes.
And lignification means that lignification would have made of fiber. Wood made of fiber. The fiber actually cellulose, main cellulose, and to make this cellulose binded by lignin. Lignin is actually natural glue. Natural glue. So the older the cell, the more the lignification of those cells. And the color will change, become darker. So it's why all the wood, all the tree mean all the cell. Is that correct? All the cell have more lignification, have better quality. It's why all the wood or long, slow growing species wood have better quality than young wood or fast growing species. Because of lignin is the condition is different. So again, the best one from bottom outer part. Now, because of this characteristic, especially because of density gradient, density difference between outer and inner, oil palm wood cannot be sound, but cannot be sound. Cannot be sawing. You know sawing, huh? Cannot be sound by normal sawing method. Needs special sawing method because of this density problem. Normal sawing method, the this among the most popular sewing method, live sewing, sewing around quarter sewing cannot be used for oil pump. So we need to develop sewing method suitable for oil pump drum. And fortunately, Baka have introduced polygon sewing method. Who is Baka? Baka here. Yeah. My name is Edi Suhaimi Baka. Okay. In 2006. In 2014, the same people introduce again the other sewing method suitable for oil pump. We call it as modified can sewing and reverse can sewing. Two different sewing methods in 2015. Just last year, we developed again the different sewing method for different purpose, for special purpose sewing method. In 2016, we call as modified can sewing 2. Okay? Don't worry how this sewing method looks like. I give you a lecture now. Okay. That is characteristic of oil pump drum. Now we look on characteristic of oil pump wood, the wood itself. The characteristic or problem of oil pump wood, actually many problems. Yeah?
What is cancer?
Modified cancer. Nanti saya terang.
Oh, okay.
The question, what is modified can sewing? How it look like? I will explain later, step by step. Before that, I need to explain first the characteristic of oil pump wood. Number one, oil pump wood, the structure of oil pump wood, I mean the anatomical structure of oil pump wood is different than any actual wood, any other wood species. Because oil palm wood, like coconut wood, okay, the brother of oil palm wood is oil palm wood, coconut wood, and dead palm wood. We have oil palm, brother of oil palm, coconut palm, and we have also dead palm. Apa yang tahu dead palm? Dead palm. In Arabian country, dead palm, kurma, dead palm. So this brother. So the quality of both of these three species very close. So now the oil palm wood, like dead palm and coconut palm, its structure consists of two main elements. Number one, vascular bundle, and number two, parenchyma tissue. Parenchyma tissue. Vascular bundle actually group of cells in which the cell have thick wall. Cell wall of those cell is thick. Because of that, those cell of vascular bundle is, because the cell wall is thick, then the cell itself is strong. Oppositely, parenchyma tissue have a very thin wall. Because of that, the cell of parenchyma is soft, and the wood that made of those cells is big. Okay. So this number one. Number two, the density gradient. Density gradient means density difference. The difference of density between outer and inner, I have discussed before. Outer part of trunk and inner, big difference in terms of density. This number one, density gradient or density difference. Number two, there is also the big difference in terms of density between vascular bundle and parenchyma tissue. If we have piece of wood, the structure of wood only is fiber. The density of the fiber almost homogeneous. But in oil palm, there is a vascular bundle here. This is actually vascular bundle. And the outer side, this very small one, only 100 micron. So this vascular bundle, and the outer, this vascular bundle surrounded by parenchyma tissue. Okay. In vascular bundle, we kind of cell. No need to. Okay. So the density variation or density gradient between vascular bundle and parenchyma tissue is very extreme. The density of this part around 0.7. The density of this part about 0.1 something to 0.2. So very extreme different in terms of material. Okay, you can see here there is whitish part and dark part. The darker part is vascular bundle. The white part is parenchyma tissue. The density of this part is about 0.7. The density of white part very low. So this is another problem. Okay, because okay. Other than that, oil palm wood have very high moisture content. The moisture content of almost all of wood species, I mean green moisture content, fresh moisture content, less than 100. In many cases, about 80% only. But the moisture content of oil palm wood, fresh oil palm wood, can go to 300 and even 500%. So moisture content is very, very high. So this becomes another problem. So at least in drying problem. Once the moisture content is very high, then the drying is very long and very costly. Okay? And the material is very porous because of low density of parenchyma tissue. Okay. With this characteristic, oil palm wood actually have problem. We have one hour. Oil palm wood have problem. Number one, very low in strength. Very low strength. If we have 5 strength class 1 very high strength and class 5 very low. The strength class of oil palm wood class 5. Very weak. In terms of durability, the ability, resistant against the termite and fungi. Okay, that is durability. We have 5 classes also. The most, the highest class is class 1. You can get here. The lowest class 5. The durability class of oil palm wood is class 5. Maybe still better rubber wood durability than oil palm. In terms of dimensional stability, no class certification in dimensional stability, but what we can say here that dimensional stability of oil palm wood very bad. Mean the material experiencing shrinkage and swelling depend on the moisture on the air. So the dimension of material made from oil palm wood will be changed from time to time. So what this we call as dimensional stability. In terms of machining, how good the machining characteristic of the material? If the highest quality class 1, the worst is class 5. Oil palm wood class 5. I mean this class of untreated oil palm wood. Mean that the quality is very bad. We cannot produce something from this material. Okay? The use of this material with this quality is very limited. Okay? So we can say that oil palm wood can only be used only as alternative material if we do proper treatment. Without treatment, you cannot use it. Okay? Unfortunately, the statement here mean we need to do treatment. Unfortunately, so very limited experience in doing processing, in doing treatment, and in using of oil palm wood. Very limited experience. So, what you do? Do some trial and error, trial and error. Okay? So now, we have problem. We have discussed the problem of oil palm wood. We can summarize. We can make 3 groups of problem. Number 1, because of density gradient. In this case, we focus on density gradient. Density gradient means density difference between outer and inner. Number 2, very high moisture content, because moisture content can go more than 300 compared to 80 for normal wood, for other wood. The third problem is properties problem, imperfection, low strength, low durability, low dimension, bad dimension machining. So these 2 problems must be solved in order to you can use oil palm wood as alternative material. If you cannot, just forget it. Okay. For your information, most of this information come from my own research. Most of information. And most of them is new and with pattern. You can follow, but not all. Some are protected, okay? But the other you can follow it. For good of people purpose, you can follow, you can use it. Okay. For density gradient or density difference between outer and inner, mean you cannot sew the oil palm wood with the normal sewing pattern. You need to develop special sewing method. So we go back to the sewing method. We have developed polygon sewing, modified cane sewing, modified cane sewing 2, and reverse cane sewing. Okay, this we need to do special sewing method to solve this problem. The previous mentioned problem. Very high moisture content. You cannot dry oil palm wood with conventional drying technology. Normally, hardwood and softwood, almost all wood species with moisture content less than 100%, you can dry it for 1 week. The past maybe 5 days. This still economic for this kind of wood. Now, oil palm wood have very high moisture content. You cannot dry it within 1 week. You need 4 to 5 weeks to dry it from, let's say, 300% moisture content until less than 10% moisture content. Because any wood ready for processing need lower moisture content, around at least less than 10, maybe 5, maybe 6. So you cannot use the conventional drying method for drying this material because the moisture content is very high. And fortunately, we have developed also the special drying method for oil palm wood. We call this as super fast drying method. Okay, I will explain it. And then the properties. We have 4 problems before that. The properties: low strength, low durability, bad machining, and depressibility. For this, you cannot use oil palm wood without proper treatment. So, you have a problem, you need to solve the problem, you need to do treatment to enhance or to improve the quality of this oil palm wood. How to do? We have 2 patents for this. We have 2 methods for this. Number 1, the 5-step processing method. Number 2, the 6-step processing method. Okay, let's go video one by one. Number 1, special sawing method. This is your question. Normally, pine or meranti or rubber wood or every species you can saw with one or this we call as live sawing. This sawing around, this quarter sawing. Okay, oil palm wood you cannot use this method. Why? If you use this method, then let's say you look on this one, the density of lumber, one piece lumber here is very high, this hollow is high again. Then if you process it, you dry it, many problems will come in. So you cannot use this 3 method. Okay? We develop polygon sawing. Completely different. The polygon sawing, actually pentagon. Pentagon 5 direct, hexagon 6. That is a polygon, pentagon. But we call it as polygon. So since the density in our the pattern like this one, not like this one. Oh, not like this one, and rotate. So we call as polygon sawing. We have result and we do tests. We found that this is the best method for oil palm because oil palm have different density on outer blue one, on to the middle with this one, and the center. The density decreasing extreme sharply. So this is the best, the most suitable sawing method for oil palm wood with many advantages. Number 1, capable to separate the outer and inner lumber better or perfect. The outer from this one, the middle from the second layer. So this one advantage. Number 2, again, so if you have lumber with the color blue, red and gray, which is better quality? Blue, of course. Okay? And then come back to here. Recovery of the outer lumber. Outer lumber means lumber from the outer. Means lumber have high quality, right? The recovery of outer lumber is high. How high? About 30%. With sewing method, the outer lumbar drop. Because in one piece of this lumbar, you need to cut it. So the quality higher recovery. Do you know the meaning of recovery? Recovery. Let's say the meaning of recovery in terms of food science technology. Let's say the volume of log 1 cubic meter, and from this log you want to produce some timber square. You cut here and then cut here also, and then you can calculate the volume of some timber now. Okay, let's say the volume. Okay, the volume of block 1 cubic meter, and the volume of clear some timber, let's say 0.5 cubic meter. Recovery of this sawing is 50%. So recovery means output divided by input. Okay, and again the recovery of outer lumbar with this method is high, about 30%. Okay, now the polygon sawing can produce lumber with more consistent spacing case and swelling, depend on the moisture on the air. So the dimension of material made from oil palm wood will be changed from time to time. So this we call as dimensional stability. In terms of machining, how good the machining characteristic of the material? If the highest quality class 1, the worst is class 5. Oil palm wood class 5. I mean this class of untreated oil palm wood. Mean that the quality is very bad. We cannot produce something from this material. Okay? The use of this material with this quality is very limited. Okay? So we can say that oil palm wood can only be used only as alternative material if we do proper treatment. Without treatment, you cannot use it. Okay? Unfortunately, the statement here mean we need to do treatment. Unfortunately, so very limited experience in doing processing, in doing treatment, and in using of oil palm. Very limited experience. So, what you do? Do some trial and error. Okay? So now, we have problem. We have discussed the problem of oil palm. We can summarize. We can make 3 groups of problem. Number 1, because of density gradient. In this case, we focus on density gradient. Density gradient means density difference between outer and inner. Number 2, very high moisture content, because moisture content can go more than 300 compared to 80 for normal, for other wood. The third problem is properties problem, imperfection, low strength, low durability, low dimensions, bad dimension machining. So these 2 problems must be solved in order to you can use oil palm wood as alternative material. If you cannot, just forget it. Okay. For your information, most of this information come from my own research. Most of information. and most of them is new and with pattern. You can follow, but not all. Some are protected, okay? But the other you can follow it. For good of people purpose, you can follow, you can use it. Okay. For density gradient or density difference between outer and inner, mean you cannot sow the oil palm wood with the normal sowing pattern. You need to develop special sowing method. So we go back to the sowing method. We have developed polygon sowing, modified cane sowing, modified cane sowing 2, and reverse cane sowing. Okay, this we need to do special sowing method to solve this problem. The previous mentioned problem. Very high moisture content. You cannot dry oil palm wood with conventional drying technology. Normally, hardwood and softwood, almost all wood species with moisture content less than 100%, you can dry it for 1 week. The fast maybe 5 days. This still economic for this kind of wood. Now, oil palm wood have very high moisture content. You cannot dry it within 1 week. You need 4 to 5 weeks to dry it from, let's say, 300% moisture content until less than 10% moisture content. Because any wood ready for processing need lower moisture content, around at least less than 10, maybe 5, maybe 6. So you cannot use the conventional drying method for drying this material because the moisture content is very high. And fortunately, we have developed also the special drying method for oil palm wood. We call this as super fast drying method. Okay, I will explain it. And then the properties. We have 4 problems before that. The properties: low strength, low durability, bad machining, and depressibility. For this, you cannot use oil palm wood without proper treatment. So, you have a problem, you need to solve the problem, you need to do treatment to enhance or to improve the quality of this oil palm wood. How to do? We have 2 patterns for this. We have 2 methods for this. Number 1, the 5-step processing method. Number 2, the 6-step processing method. Okay, let's go video one by one. Number 1, special sowing method. This is your question. Normally, pine or meranti or rubber wood or every species you can sow with one or this we call as live sowing. This sowing around, this quarter sowing. Okay, oil palm wood you cannot use this method. Why? If you use this method, then let's say you look on this one, the density of lumber, one piece lumber here is very high, this hollow is high again. Then if you process it, you dry it, many problems will come in. So you cannot use this 3 method. Okay? We developed polygon sowing. Completely different. The polygon sowing, actually pentagon. Pentagon 5 direct, hexagon 6. That is polygon, pentagon. But we call it as polygon. So since the density in our the pattern like this one, not like this one. Oh, not like this one, and rotate. So we call as polygon sawing. We have result and we do test. We found that this is the best method for oil palm because oil palm have different density on outer blue one, on to the middle with this one, and the center. The density decreasing extreme sharply. So this is the best, the most suitable sawing method for oil palm wood with with many advantages. Number one, capable to separate the outer and inner lumber better or perfect. The outer from this one, the middle for the second layer. So this one advantage. Number two, again, so if you have lumber with the color blue, red and gray, which is better quality?
Blue.
Blue, of course. Okay? And then come back to here. Recovery of the outer lumber. Outer lumber means lumber from the outer. Means lumber have high quality, right? The recovery of outer lumber is high. How high? About 30%. With sawing method, the outer lumber drop. Because in one piece of this lumber, you need to cut it. So the quality, higher recovery. Do you know the meaning of recovery? Recovery, let's say the meaning of recovery in terms of wood science technology. Let's say the volume of log 1 cubic meter. And from this log, you want to produce some timber, square. You cut here and then cut here also, cut here also. And then you can calculate the volume of some timber now. Okay? Let's say the volume, the volume of log 1 cubic meter and the volume of clear sound timber, let's say 0.5 cubic meter. Recovery of this sawing is 50%. So recovery means output divided by input. Okay? And again, the recovery of outer lumber with this method is high, about 50%. Okay? Now, the polygon sawing can produce lumber with more consistent or more homogeneous density. Because the density of this piece of lumber are most homogeneous, not like this one. The density here in this part high, low, high. Similar, low, high, low, high. It's similar. So this is another advantage. Because of density relatively homogeneous, then the drying defect become less. The drying defect become less. And lastly, the outer lumber. The outer lumber, the best portion, right? The outer lumber. The dimension of outer lumber is 1. We can produce wide outer lumber with this method, not with this method. So this is about polygon sawing. And we also developed another sawing method we call as modified cane sawing. Modified cane sawing. So this first and rotate it. How is it? See it? Rotate it. So we got this one. And We first can sawing. Very simple. We cut this. Simple. And lastly, we develop modified can sawing tool. This can sawing, the first can sawing, this again modified again, because our technology improving also. We found another drying technology, super fast drying technology, in which the inner part can be used. Before, the inner part cannot be used, so we don't care about the center. So now, since the inner can be used, we modify this one like this one. Outer first and then terminal. We call as modified can sawing tool. This specially developed to support super fast drying. Okay, this about the special sawing. Now special drying. I mentioned before, for oil palm wood, if you dry using technology, you need 4 to 5 weeks. 4 to 5 weeks, roughly about more than 500 hours. Okay, more than because of moisture content very high, can go to, if fresh, can go to 500%. Because the moisture content very high and density of parenchymal tissue is very low, this drying also very sensitive to drying defect, many drying defects. So drying become one of challenge to process and to use oil palm. Current technology drying, you cannot use it because very long time, and you got very too many defect, more than 30% defect. So this is not effective. You cannot use. And again, bakar again. Me, my team, not myself. My team introduce also what we call oil palm lumber. If you search on internet, maybe you can find it, because this patent, this is for local patent, this is for international. Since now this is international, everybody from all over the world can access it. Oil palm lumber drying method is standard. Okay, what's the unique of this drying? The unique of characteristic of this drying, number one, drying very fast. This for week about 500 hours. This only 3 hours. How many times faster? More than 100 times. Okay. We dry by just 3 hours. So, if in the past people need to dry 500, and because of that the cost is not effective, very high cost, processing cost. Now, with 3 hours of cost, naturally the cost is very effective. Number two, almost free of drying defect. Conventional drying method, drying defect about 30%. Now we are almost free. So you from the EPM, from Wood Science Technology, if you want to join with me, you can do it.
Yeah.
From other part of the country, you want to join, there is possibility for you all. If you are interested with this topic, to study, let's say for master, you can register for master's degree to EPM. You can do it for your thesis. Number two. Number three, we can dry oil palm wood not only the outer part, because in the past only outer part can be can be dry with relatively less defects. Now we can only inner part. I have explained before, the outer part is high density, the inner part is low density. Because of low density, very low density, many problems of drying. So now, since the drying technology is different, drying approach is different, the inner part can be dry also. So now, the processing of oil palm trunk for alternative material become much more efficient. Okay? The process is very unique. Actually, two-step drying. What we call number one, modified contact drying, and high temperature drying with many variations inside. Okay? I don't know whether the hyperlink working or not. Okay, sorry. Actually, in the same file, the memory. Very sorry. So this is the other name of this drying method is called purpose drying. So this is the step, we number, and then we need to circulate by thickness. If thickness less than 10 mm, go to direct into this process. If more thickness, you need to do this process, and then continue. So the condition, the treatment, the process is different according to the diameter and the thickness, the density, and the moisture. So at the end, we can dry wood. Let's say the moisture content for around almost 400. We dry first with the first drying. First drying means in this drying, modified drying, and then continue with other drying, high temperature drying. Okay? Okay, so drying method we have discussed about the drying method, part 3 and so now number 3, problem number 3, low quality. We have 4 problems in terms of quality: very low strength, very low durability, poor dimensional stability, and very bad machining characteristic. We need to solve it. Many studies have been done, but the approach is partial. Many studies, research has been done about the urban wood. Since the density is very low, the people just do densification. The problem of strength solved, but not the other. Same for durability, for dimensionality, but no for machining. So this can solve the problem, but partially. Now, we need the treatment that can solve the problem, all the problem in one treatment. So this is our approach. To solve the problem, the four main problem, just with one treatment. After many trying and error, we come up to the conclusion that this problem can be solved concurrently by the impregnation of resin followed by the densification. Okay? This can solve all the problem. And again, Baka 204 and also 2014 use this approach, impregnation and densification, and solve the problem, all the problem, resulting oil palm wood with high performance we call as compressed oil palm wood. If you go to internet, key in compressed oil palm wood, you got the information. Okay? The two methods we have introduced here: 5-step processing method and 6-step processing method. We look in brief for this method. So the method, this 5 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Firstly, you need to sew it. With which sewing method? Polygon sewing. Then after that, do drying. Which drying method? Conventional drying. Because this 204. My new drying method 2014. During this year, we don't know the better drying method. So in this case, we using the conventional drying method. And after that, why we need to dry? To facilitate the resin impregnation. To put the resin inside the wood structure, we need the wood in dry condition. After that, we do impregnation. We put the resin, in this case, phenolic resin. Why phenolic? Because phenolic water resistant.
Yes.
We put the resin go to fiber plasma bundle and parenchyma tissue, of course. And after that, we do heating to make the resin that has been penetrated in wood become semi-cured, semi-gel condition. And then finally, hot pressing. So that's the process. All of this step, many variables in each of these steps. All of this must be optimized. Sewing must be polygon, drying based on our experience, the wood must be dry to around 15%. And then after that, start impregnation using low molecular weight phenol formaldehyde. Low molecular phenol formaldehyde with 15% solid content. We do impregnation for 30 minutes. Okay, then after that, heating. Heating can be by oven heating, or by combination of oven and microwave. The objective is same. The method of drying by oven and microwave is different, right? So microwave normally much faster than oven. So it's why we dry with oven and microwave. Both you can use it. You need to do heating, and then moisture will evaporate and the moisture content will decrease. we need to decrease the moisture content until 60%. If you are using the oven method, you need low temperature oven, 60 degree. And then after that, do hot pressing, quite hot, need temperature 150 Celsius for pressing for 30 minutes with 50% compression ratio. Compression ratio means the original thickness 2 cm, now you need to press until 1 cm. So 50% compression ratio with cyclic press. Cyclic press means the pressing is about 30 minutes, right? You cannot press close for 30 minutes, cannot. Press, release it. Press, release it. So we call that as cyclic pressing. And again, this needs to be optimized. If not optimized, the final properties is not good. This is condition of our wood before treatment. This is after treatment. We call as compressed oil pump wood. Can be straight, can be curved. Okay? But again, as scientists, the problem, if you solve the problem, you see the other problem inside the problem. So it means that improvement never ending improvement. So after success with this one, we see that the problem also here. We need to improve. What's the problem in this method? Difficult polygon sawing. This is difficult. Why? Because the angle is not 90. The angle is not 90. Very difficult for in sawmill. Because in sawmill, do cutting and rotate 90 degree. Rotate. So now the angle is not 90. So very difficult in sawmill. Easy in theoretically is very easy, but in field very difficult. So this is number one problem. Number two problem, since the drying is conventional drying 5 weeks or 500 hours, this is very long time and cost very high. Number three, long heating also. Long heating and very critical condition. So this constraint of this method. So we need to do more improvement of this method. It's why we come up to this method, the 6-step processing method. Sawing, but different sawing. Very simple. Compression. This is new. Before, no compression. And then drying, resin soaking, heating, and hot pressing. This is similar. Okay? Use the reverse scan sawing. And you can see the wood not necessarily to be square. Normally, any timber must be square, right? This is round. We no need to cut it out. Why? Because you are doing the compress up there. You press it, and there is wood flow here. There is no problem with curved surface. Involves the compression. If you have low density wood with high moisture content, and then you press it, the water will go out, right? Just like sponge. If you press wet sponge, you press, the water go out. Similar with this one. You do pressing means compression, and the water go out. Mean that the moisture content decreasing. Compression will reduce the moisture content. And at the same time, if you do compression, there is the crack will coming. Some crack. This crack give positive effect also. Positive effect. Okay. Compression create the crack, and this will make the drying become faster, and resin penetration or resin inclusion easier. Why is the drying faster? Because two effects. Why is the drying become faster? Because of two effects. Number one, because you do compression, the initial moisture content of your wood now lower moisture content, and then the total drying time will reduce extremely. And number two, because of cracking. Since your wood has micro crack, and that evaporation is easy. Evaporation of water easy. So mean the drying become very fast. With previous method, we need drying time for 5 weeks. In this method, 3 days. 3 days, not 3 hours. 3 days. So become fast. Resin inclusion or resin penetration become simple also. Just do soaking. No need impregnation. Okay. Microcrack faster drying is the process. So again, this process very fast, much faster. Based on because there's a link here, but too long time to go to that. So the output of this process equal in quality. The final product quality is equivalent. The time, processing time, X time faster. X time faster. So this is different. So now, I think I omit this one. We skip this one. Properties of compressed oil palm wood. The treated oil palm wood we call as compressed oil palm wood. This one we call as compressed oil palm wood. Original properties class 5, correct? The strength originally, the strength is class 5. Now become class 1. Very strong. Durability class 5 now become class 1. Very durable. Dimensionability very bad, unstable. Now water resistant. This water resistant. This very sensitive to moisture. Machining characteristic originally before treatment class 5. Now class 1 and class 2. Mean this with this properties is very good material. Very good. So the color also good. The pattern, gray pattern, very nice. So with that properties, this compressed oil palm wood can be used for high performance product, for good quality product, for furniture, either interior or exterior furniture, flooring, decorative material, and so on. So now a little bit about analysis. Why the properties improve? Why the strength improve? Because of density increasing. Original density only 400. Now becomes almost 1000. Almost sinking. Almost the similar density with water. So about the sinking. So normally the strength is positively correlated with density. Once the density increasing, the strength is increased also. So this density increased by two effects, two logic. Number one, because of densification. You do compression, mean you do densification. Densification means you reduce the volume without reducing weight. So means density increasing. Number two, because of resin loading. Resin go to the structure of wood. The material become compact because of why the strength increase because of material become compact. I mean, originally before treatment between vascular bundle and parenchymal tissue is very loose. Now after the treatment with the resin, vascular bundle and parenchymal tissues bind tightly. So this will increase the strength also. Now why the durability increase? Because of PF. PF is not toxic for fungi and termite, but termite cannot digest wood that have been contaminated by PF. So after the treatment, before the treatment, fungi eats the attach the oil palm wood very fastly for food, because wood is food for termite. But after the treatment, the termite cannot digest this wood anymore. So it's why the wood is protected by the resin. Because of that, the durability of wood increases. Why is the dimensionability increased? Because of resin. In wood there is space. In wood there is empty space. Normally the space will be filled in by the moisture or by the water. But now the space has been filled up by the resin. So no any more space for the water to penetrate out. So it's why the dimensionability is good. The dimensionability is good because the penetration of moisture very low. Hygroscopicity, the terminology is hygroscopicity. Hygroscopicity is reduced very significant. Number two, the PF, the resin will penetrate into the wood, will block the access for the water to penetrate into the wood. Since the water cannot penetrate into the wood, the dimensional change of the wood become minimum. Wood becomes shrinking and swelling because of water. Once the water is blocked, the dimensional becomes stable. Okay, so it's why. Machining. This is quite difficult to explain. Maybe we skip this because time also. So now conclusion. The supply of wood very critical. We have deficit supply, and we need to find alternative. One of alternative, wood alternative, is oil palm wood. This is very true for especially in ASEAN country, especially Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand. But unfortunately, oil palm wood have oil palm wood from mature oil palm trunk. Oil palm wood from mature oil palm trunk, result from replanting activity, have been considered, have been looked as a good alternative mechanism. But unfortunately, the quality of the oil palm wood, those oil palm wood have a problem. Problem in density variation, radially mean outer and inner, and high moisture content and low wood quality. So we cannot use oil palm wood, those oil palm wood without proper treatment. We need to find suitable treatment. some processing technology have been developed and patented. In terms of surveying, we have introduced polygon surveying, modified and surveying, reverse surveying, modified and surveying tool. In terms of surveying and drying, the group problem number 2, we have introduced and patented superfast drying. In terms of low quality, we have introduced and patented quality improvement method, in which we have 2 here, 5-step method and 6-step method. Okay. And next, with this technology, I mean drying, sowing, and quality improvement, low quality oil palm wood that cannot be used so far now can be processed become high quality material. What's material? Compressed oil palm wood that can be used as wood alternative. Wood alternative. Using compressed oil palm wood by this technology again, producing and using compressed oil palm wood as alternative material will give some advantage for everybody. Who have an advantage? Number 1, you can expect who is this. Will reduce our dependency on wood from the forest, because you can produce now alternative wood. In this case, compressed oil palm wood. From why? From forest? No. From oil palm plantation. Thus, will reduce the threat on the forest. Number 2, fill in the shortage of supply of wood material for industry. You know, you can go to all over the world, go to the industry. The main problem now is the supply of material. So now, we have alternative material. With this alternative material, this wood industry can rotating again, can produce again. With this technology, with producing and using this technology, we can produce high quality wood, quote unquote, with affordable price. I mean with relatively low price. Why the price is very low? Because this waste. The price of oil palm only some cent dollar. Very cheap. Of course, this will generate additional income to the planter. Planter now can sell oil palm truck for this material, and this will create job opportunity. Okay, actually, the complaint of this many happening. Later, I think the organizer will provide you the soft copy. You can have it. So since the time is almost finished, I may sampai pukul berapa? Bukan 1, 2, question. Maybe the time about 10 minutes to 11. We have 10 or 7 minutes. We have about 7 minutes for question. Any question about this? Yeah.
If you use oil palm wood in different as a material,
No, again, use oil palm in different
age.
age of the year. Okay.
Is it influence the product?
Okay.
The
Very
quality of
good.
product?
The quality of final product. Okay, very good question. I mentioned before, the material that we use is mature oil palm wood, with the age more than 25 years. Logically, the quality of material, untreated oil palm wood, is better if the age is older. If you feel the young oil palm wood, let's say 10 years old, then the lignification of the cell is not complete yet, and the strength is lower. So means the starting quality is lower with the young age. The starting quality of material is better with older years. Logically, nobody want to fail young oil palm because the main objective to plant the oil palm for oil. So nobody to harvest oil palm tree with the age less than 25. But how about if I have 25-year-old material and 100-year-old material? This is logic also. Nobody will wait until 100 years. But if you have that case, the starting quality of 100-year material is much better. And the process is increased to improve the quality. So there is possibility that because the question, the final properties, there is possibility the final properties of older material is better than younger material. Is that your question?
Yes.
Is that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Other question? Maybe one or two? Anything? In broad respect, okay. In when? The potential, okay. In Indonesia, where? Indonesia.
Total area.
Oh, total area. Okay. Okay.
Why we increase area of our farm for support wood alternative material? If the total population increasing.
Again, total area 12 million hectare from Indonesia, planted area. About 5 million hectare from Malaysia, means 17, and another 1 million hectare, 18 total, about roughly 18 million hectare. But there is some in South America and Africa, I think more than 20 million hectare. So now the question, if the increase the area for oil palm.
Yeah.
Okay, this is controversial. Some people said don't increase oil palm too much anymore. No need too much because we need other area for other purposes. So myself is wood scientist, not forester. I'm not forester, wood scientist. Even myself as wood scientist, I want to protect the area of forest because the benefit of various many items. Some items we know the value, but many items we know the value yet. If we comfort more and more forest for oil palm, then you lost this opportunity. So this is my opinion. Maybe other people opinion different. So is that your question? One more question. Last.
In your opinion, other than special drying method, is there any best way to prepare more wood product to achieve the demand?
To achieve demand today. Okay. For oil palm wood, since the moisture content is very high, the drying becomes the problem. So we need to find good drying method that is very fast, and with minimum heat. That's true for oil palm. But for other wood species, the drying can be done in quite fast. Some species now can be dried for days. With modified drying method for wood, some people in New Zealand, there is new technology now for drying, can dry for 1 day. And Dr. Tommy is drying specialist also. He developed technology for drying thick wood. You know thick wood. Thick wood is very fancy wood, very expensive. But because it's very expensive, the drying must be mild temperature. Normally, the drying of thick wood 2 weeks or more than 2 weeks. And with his technology, good technology, very good also, can be dried in 3 days.
The fastest one is 1 day.
The fastest one. But that is thick wood. In my cases, different. Oil palm. Well, condition of thick wood different with oil palm. For oil palm, with the different operation also, I can dry it in 3 days. So your question is the other drying method to make to satisfy the current need, something like that. Yes, the improvement must be never ending. Maybe now Dr. Tommy success for drying for 1 day, the best. Maybe for the future we need to reduce starch because let's say for 1 day cost is not problem. For this year, 2017. But maybe 10 years later, drying becomes the problem again. So at that time, you need to improve it. So I think time is up. So thank you for your vision, and very sorry we have technical problem. So sorry, nanti dibagi soft copy ya. Dr. Sultani will send you the soft copy with hyperlink. You can look on it and learn from it. Thank you. See you again.
So this from our
For trees. Batik from wood.
Batik from wood.
Batik from wood
Kopi. Besar ya. Oh, di sini. Because better than this. Yeah. Okay. Okay, for all of you, if you need any explanation, I put my email address there. Don't know, just contact me. Do it. If I'm not so busy, I will respond you.
Okay, let's give applause to Dr. Interesting lecture this morning. And we will depart to Sarangan around 4 hours from here, followed by the bus, and we will stop by a class. But make sure you have already toilets before you enter the bus. And be careful with your personal clothing. Please. Okay? We need your cooperation so we can go very fast. Okay?
Go there to bus.
Yeah, go to bus. And if you want to go to toilet, you can go to toilet first. Any questions?